Do you have a problem with Jacksonville expecting to sign Tim Tebow, considering the history I just gave you?
Molly, I don't know if it's a problem as much as I don't understand what Urban Meyer is hoping to accomplish with this move. I don't get the value add with putting Tim Tebow on this roster, having him take up a spot when you're trying to figure out if you have enough guys that can be able to suit up and actually be competent football players in the fall with the Jags. Like, this is what I don't understand about it. Tim Tebow hadn't played in an NFL game since 2012. The last time he was on an NFL roster was 2015. So I'm supposed to expect a guy that spent that much time away from the game to be able to come back at 34 years of age and find a way to be able to contribute to this team? Doesn't make sense to me. So I just don't understand it from that perspective. And if you're Urban Meyer, I get that you want to have your guys as ambassadors to your program in the locker room, trying to have the ear of the other players, trying to establish a culture, trying to reiterate your messages. But the one problem with that, with Tebow is concerned, is Tebow, we don't know if he can play or not. And NFL players, you got to be able to play in order for you guys to follow you. You got to be able to play in order to be a leader. And I just don't know that Tim Tebow is going to be able to do that down in Jacksonville.
Let me say something. First of all, the last time I remember Tebow on a field, he was throwing a pass to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. People kind of forget about that. Look, let me tell you how I see Tim Tebow's situation, guys. I think you're right on the money, Chris. He's getting this opportunity because this is an Urban Meyer joint, right? He wants his guy there. Look, Urban Meyer wants a security blanket, too, in the pros, just like, and this is his guy. He had success with him. He can deliver the message in the locker room. He's polarizing. That's because some people don't like that. They feel he brings the circus. But other people are drawn to him because he's charismatic. And this is what I really want to say about it. Tim Tebow has an opportunity now. He should not apologize for taking that opportunity, and he should take the opportunity. Me, I would take an opportunity that came my way and not apologize for it. I don't care if it's because I have a relationship with the person in charge. I don't care if it's white privilege. I don't care if it's because I am popular in certain circles because of religion or anything else. I would take my opportunity. Now, it's not that I feel that, we'll speak to white privilege for a second, for example, that doesn't come with any strings. You should take it, and I wouldn't apologize for mine. The question is then, what do you do with it? For example, people are linking this to another issue that we can get into a little bit later in the show involving Colin Kaepernick. I think for Tim Tebow, he doesn't have to worry about anyone else's situation. He doesn't have to worry about any privilege or opportunity he has. But I do think it puts him in the position where there's a certain responsibility for him to speak out for others who don't have the same kind of opportunity he does. That said, he should take it, run with it, and go as far as he can.
Yeah, Max, he can take the opportunity, but here's the thing that I would ask. He's telling us that he is very close to Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer's like a father figure to him. If that's the case, then you want to make sure that Urban does his best. You're bringing undue attention onto Urban Meyer. Like, we all realize Tebow's not going to make the team. Tebow is not going to be a tight end in the National Football League for the reason that Chris Canty stated. You haven't played football for a long time. All of a sudden, you're going to come out here with these guys that have been training and doing this job for the last several years while you've been chasing baseball and trying to hit curveballs, and you're automatically going to make the team. So he's not going to make it. So I would ask Tim Tebow in a private moment, why are you doing this? Are you doing this just to fulfill a dream? You had that opportunity 9 years ago. Are you doing this just because you want to create some buzz? If you really care about Urban Meyer, and he's like a father figure to you, then you don't want to bring unnecessary attention. Urban has already made some questionable decisions. The strength coach, Chris Doyle, okay, that was a bad hire. You could argue drafting Travis Etienne in the first round when you have Robinson. That's a questionable decision. And now another questionable decision that has people inside the organization. There are people in Jacksonville's organizations that do not like this, and they've told Urban about this. So you're creating problems for yourself when already you're going to have a very tough learning curve. See, this isn't college. You're not a dictator. This is the NFL. It's a partnership. You got to be able to partner with your best players. And Urban, someone needs to tell Urban, you're not the most popular guy in the franchise. It's the starting quarterback. That's how the NFL works. And so for Tim Tebow, I get it, Max. You make a good point. Take the opportunity, but I would just ask you why. Why are you taking the opportunity?
Let me throw something
because
at all of you.
I don't think that you think or anyone
is...
else in America thinks that you can make the team. So for me,
Booger.
I would just ask, why are you taking it? And for Urban, why are you bringing Tim Tebow in? It doesn't solve anything.
Hold that thought. Booger, hold that thought, because I want to throw this at all three of you. We all know Tim Tebow. If you've been around him, he's a special, high-character guy. We understand the relationship with Urban Meyer. We understand that Tim Tebow still has the desire to be a professional athlete. He can't shake that. Have you ever thought maybe what's happening is Urban Meyer just wants him around the team, maybe as a coach, but he knows this is how I draw him in with the roster spot, get him around the team, and rather than being a distraction, he'll actually aid his team and bring them up at a higher level, and this is just a way to get him in the door. And the ultimate desire is really for him to be a part of the staff and around his guys.
Guys, quickly, if I could just jump in, I think that's an interesting thought. I think that there may be truth to that. And I'll say something else, guys, and Booger and Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There are distractions, but sometimes there could be a good distraction for a team, it seems to me. In other words, while the media is preoccupied, he's from there, it's his hometown, it's his college coach, all this stuff, he ain't going to get any playing time, right? And now the media is dealing with all this Tebow stuff. That actually takes some stuff away from Trevor Lawrence and the rest of the team. Couldn't it be a good distraction in that sense?
Max, I don't think that's going to be a good distraction. I mean, Tim Tebow, or part of your team, that means the circus is coming to town. And I don't know that that kind of noise is what you want in trying to develop the #1 overall pick in the face of your franchise in Trevor Lawrence.
Why is it a circus, though, if he's a great teammate?
Because he's such a polarizing player. And the fact that he is a failed quarterback and that he did decide he was going to go play baseball and rather than go through a position change during his first go-round in the National Football League, I think that brings into question whether or not he deserves the opportunity. In professional sports, it's a meritocracy. And Tebow has not earned the right to be able to be a part of the NFL after 6 seasons, 8 if you want to count when he was actually on the field, and then going through a position change down there with the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you got so many players that are fighting to try to make this team that have been a part of the NFL for the last 3 or 4 years. So it just doesn't make sense to me to bring him in. It's an unnecessary distraction, especially for a coach that has to prove himself on the NFL level and a coach that's struggling with credibility in the locker room because of some of the things that Boog already pointed out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.